Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in, and whether you subscribed or not, doesn't matter. You do what you want. Because it's been quite a while since I've put a video out. If you haven't watched the video I did, Road to Recovery Prologue, that gives you an idea of what I've been going through, well, for years, but basically since Christmas it's just gone out of control. So for this video we're going to be talking about copper. Do we buy, do we hold, or do we sell? And it sounds straightforward, but there's a lot to it politically, and it is going to be quite a long video, but there's so much information I've tried to cram into it. It could be an hour long if, you know, I really wanted it to be. So I'll do my best. I got a couple of shout outs to give first. For 3 subscribers. The first one is to Luke. His comment was, in other words, I was going, so thank you, Luke. I did laugh at that. The second one is even better. I think his name is Mark S. He says, you talk too much. I can hear you all saying, oh yes, he's hit the nail on the head there. And then we've got Ed Stuckey, and he said, how to make a 5-minute video last 25 minutes. In other words, you talk too much, Matt. So, absolutely brilliant comments. I loved them, and thank you to 3 of you. You made me laugh. So, yes, thank you. And also, I've got to say thank you to all my new subscribers. It's, yeah, I did have a look, and it shot up. So to each and every one of you, you might not think it's a lot pressing the subscribe button. Sorry, Luke, I said pressing the subscribe button and also leaving a comment. But to subscribe, to watch one of my videos, that means a lot to me, and I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. And like I said, if you're not subscribed and you're watching this, you're not subscribed. If you are, great, thank you very much, but my videos aren't to everybody's taste. I'm not to everybody's taste. Yeah, could tell that from the comments. I will crack on with the video, and I would, as I said, I'd like to talk longer about it, but there's just so much in it, okay? So please stick with me. I know I've yacked on already, but please stay with me, especially in the parts why there are important parts about the price of copper, why it's going up, and there are a number of good reasons. So if you can just hang around and just put up with me chatting. And Luke, Mark, Ed, I have written a script, so I'm going to keep to it, and let's bang on with this video, okay? Right, today's video is about copper. Do we buy, hold, or sell? Before we delve into these 3 questions, we'll take a look at what is happening on the markets in the world, and basically what is happening at the moment in the world. copper is unfortunately, or possibly fortunately, whichever way you look at it, it is linked quite a lot, yeah, to politics. Not only building and what have you, but politics do play an important part. And at the moment there's a lot of political turmoil going on between China, which you're going to hear a lot of in this video, and other countries at the moment. For instance, Australia, they have banned all imports and exports from and to China due to the coronavirus. It's a bit complicated, and I have to be careful with my opinions on YouTube, but if I phrase it, we love our friends down under. And I think reading between the lines, you understand where I stand on this. Our fellow buddies down under, we love you. So, also China signed some form of law or something like that. And it was around 2017. And this really got me going. That they wouldn't be importing any foreign garbage, meaning our scrap metal. Foreign garbage, okay? China, foreign garbage, our scrap metal. Oof, I know, I'm getting going already. Well, to say that's rich saying that, I recently said on a live stream the only thing that China has ever made that has lasted is COVID-19 in a laboratory. Allegedly. Allegedly. I've got to add those words. I don't want to get into trouble with YouTube. But how insulting to us. Foreign garbage. And the crap that comes out of their country. You can tell I'm getting a little bit wound up about this. So, I hope that this pandemic has made our countries think of actually starting to be self-sufficient and actually making things, producing things in our own blinking countries like it used to be. And instead of, oh, yeah, I know, I'm on my soapbox, but it really gets my goat that so much is made abroad for a pittance and it's crap. Excuse my language, but this is probably the first video that I've actually, because I'm so incensed about it. But to every Prime Minister and President in the Western world, get off your backsides and blinking get the manufacturing back into our own countries so that we can be self-sufficient and employ people instead of all this massive unemployment and having cheap goods, cheap shitty goods from abroad. Get off your backsides and blinking sort it out. Ooh. So anyway, I'll take a deep breath. Let's talk about the first question. Copper. Do we buy? Well, from what I've seen on websites such as eBay, people are just paying well over the odds for copper, brass. I don't know why. If you know why they're paying over the odds, perhaps it's the scrapyard that is buying all this up, and they get better prices, for selling it. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is. Perhaps these people are just getting carried away with copper prices and everything, but they're paying 50, 100% more than it's worth. Well, when you buy something, you want to make at least 100%. So if you know why these people are buying at these extortionate prices, please leave a comment. I'd be extremely grateful to hear your views on that. The only way that I can see people buying any copper nowadays is if somebody is selling something and doesn't realise the value. Perhaps it's an old copper kettle or copper pans, and they just don't realise what they're worth. So you give them a couple of pound or a couple of dollars, and off you go. Or it might just be a friend who, oh, can you hear? Yeah, want an ice cream? You might have friends or somebody that has got copper hanging around, can't be bothered. You work out the price that you're going to get, and then you just give them half or a few pound, few dollars, whatever you feel happy giving them. So I can't find any way of buying copper cheaply. So if you do know of a way, apart from what I've mentioned, I don't think that buying copper nowadays you can do cheaply to make a profit. If you do know, please leave the comments. I'd be very grateful. Now the next question is extremely interesting. Do we hold onto our copper? Yes is the short answer. And why? Well, I've read numerous analyst reports, and they all say the same. From the year 2022-23, the price of copper is going to rise year on year, reaching some sort of peak in about 15 years. And there might be people watching this saying, I'm not going to be around in 15 years, Matt. I'm too old for that. Well, there's all ages watching, but if you can hang on to your copper for as long as you can, if you're able to and you don't have to live off it, hold on to it. Sorry, Luke, I said again. Is that 2 or 3? So why is copper going to rise so sharply in price? Now this is where I would like you to just hang on there, and I'll try and explain the best I can why copper is going to shoot up in price. There's a number of factors, so please just bear with me and hang on in there till the end of the video. There's a number of factors. Probably the most influential is China. Not only with their building program that they have set a date that they set a date for their building programs and everything's got to be boosh, boosh, boosh. But they've also set a date for all the vehicles to be electric. And if China sets a date, then that is going to happen. China, well, it has a 10-year presidency, prime minister, and at the start of that 10 years, they set out their 10-year plan for growth. And the current Prime Minister, he was the first ever to be re-elected for a second tenure, which don't understand the politics. I don't really care, because I've had enough of China at the moment, to be honest, personally. So it's probably all internal. We don't care. We just want to know about copper. So what is interesting is, if we look at 2019, before COVID came along, China was using approximately 250 million tons of copper per year. And they were only building, that is for their infrastructure and everything, 250 million tons. Now, I thought that was quite low with, sorry Luke, that's about my fourth arm, with how much building they were doing. But it's still a heck of a lot, 250 million tons. And this will shock you now. But with the electric cars and building work that they have set themselves to achieve by a certain date, they are going to be using around, listen to this, 2.6 billion tons. 2.6 billion! You can't even get your head around that. Where the heck are they going to get 2.6 billion tons of copper? Oh, good Lord. It's just mind-boggling. So we've also got China with electric cars, but all the other countries are building these electric cars. And copper will be in terrific demand. We're gonna have two chargers apparently, a quick booster which contains about 2 kilograms of copper, and then the longer charger which will probably be in our homes and what have you. Those chargers will have 25 kilograms of copper in them. And why I said then, I was trying to think of the poundage. There's 2.2 pounds to a kilogram for our friends in America, Canada, and where have you. So work that out. But 25 kilograms of copper in the longer charger. Personally, I'm not a fan of these electric vehicles. The idea, yeah, I can see where they're coming from for climate change and everything, but to do it on vehicles, I just think it's going to be impossible. They'll make the vehicles, but how are you going to have charging points on every single house in your country and at service stations, petrol stations? You can need these chargers anywhere and everywhere. It's impossible. They haven't even got blinking broadband throughout all the UK yet. And how many years have they promised? Oh, we're going to be the world leaders and all that blinking trash. Well, I'm really getting wound up in this video, aren't I? I just don't think it's possible, personally. It's just, we have not got an infinite amount of copper, and there's other ways of using fuel for vehicles. Chip fat oil, for instance, perfectly fine in a diesel engine that's been converted. What is the problem with that? Well, the problem is that the oil giants don't like it because they won't be making any money. But if we change into electric, they're not going to be making any money anyway. So what the... Yeah, you can see where I'm coming from. I'm getting wound up. So, yes, there's climate change, but we've got to have a balance. You can't have a battery in a car just get you 150 miles or 200 miles. We've got to have a balance somewhere. And to go all out for these electric cars I just think it's silly. Putting all your eggs in one basket, and then we'll end up going back to cars as they are now, combustion cars. We've also got to think and put into the mix the mining of the copper. Now, Chile and Peru are the main producers, and there are other producers of copper, but they've been granted licenses in the past year or two to extend their current operations to a certain extent. But again, to global warming and countries signing up to green climate agreements, further licenses will be far harder to get, and instead of open cast mining, for instance, that will be a thing of the past. Somehow they're going to have to drill down from the top, and they're going to have to get this copper out somehow like that, which is going to be, I don't know how they're going to do it. It's going to be more money, isn't it? And then that'll push the price of copper up even more, which is good for us, but not good if we're going to have our central heating done. But it's all to do with the environment again, and yeah, when you add up all these factors, you can see why the copper prices are rising, and it is a very intricate number of factors that are sort of contributing to all this sort of mixture. It's all in a pot, just being mixed around. So, excuse me. So, finally, back to the question, do we hold copper? I will say yes and no. Now, what I mean by that is, personally, this is just my personal point of view, I've set myself a target of a certain weight that I want to reach of copper, and copper is obviously an asset. And once I've reached that amount, then I'll just sit on it. I'll be happy with that amount. I'm not being greedy, because I'll show you in the next video why. And once I've reached my target, then I will sell the rest, but I'll keep that money. I won't spend it. Which now leads us on to the last question. Do we sell our copper? Well, I've explained my reasons just now. After I've reached my target, yes, I will be selling my copper. Why am I going to sell my copper after I reached my target? To reinvest the money into other assets, not big assets that'll cost thousands of pounds, smaller things, and all will become clear in the next video when I've got more time to explain it. And they won't be long-term assets. I just want a quick turnover within a couple of years, and yeah, I'll explain in the next video. So the questions are raised in this video today about copper. Do we buy, hold or sell? With the political and manufacturing and the mining information I explained, you can see now why the video has lasted so long, basically, and I've been yakking, but hopefully it's made sense to you. As I said, I could have done an hour and a half long video on this, going into more depth, but hopefully it's given you a good idea of what is happening and where the price of copper is heading and why it is heading upwards. Copper, buy, hold or sell? I'd love to hear your comments. Please, more comments the better. I've learnt from one of my videos now that comments and interacting with you, the knowledge that a lot of you viewers have got, so interesting, so informative. Questions I've been asked, research I've had to do, and knowledge, questions, ideas, tips, tricks, everything like that. And also what is happening around the world, America, Canada, Australia, South Africa, Europe. It's been absolutely fascinating. So the more comments, just, yeah, please. I've learnt now that they're highly important and I find them fascinating. So whatever you want to say, please put it in the comments. I'd love, love, love to hear what you think about buy, hold or sell copper. And it'll be extremely informative, not just for me, but for everybody who reads the comments. And I'll be intrigued and fascinated. I truly will. So I better wrap this video up because it's gone on for quite a while. So I hope everything has made sense. It has been a lot to put into a video and I can't make it any shorter than I've made it. There's just so much information that I had to get over to you. So apologies that it's so long, but hopefully you got something from it. And I will say, I will love you and leave you. And please, everybody, take care in the current situation. Stay safe, stay well, or as well as you can. And many thanks for watching. Many thanks for watching the video. And if you made it to the end of the video, congratulations. I appreciate every single one of you for watching and for any comments, hopefully, that you will leave. So until the next one, stay safe, as I said, stay well, and look after yourselves. Bye now.